As the excess bubinga of the top is routed away using a bearing cutter, I'm obviously very aware of the grain. I don't want to remove a large chunk of the top by mistake. And the same goes for the Padauk on the body. Padauk tends to chip easier, so you've got to be even more careful here. The trick really is to take as little wood away with every pass as you can, although on this instrument I will be carving a lot of this away anyway. Here is a lesson of what not to do. I probably should have cut the end off the through neck before the top even went on. Now it's just created an extra job to do at this stage, which then, takes an extra 10 minutes or so to put right. It seems that no matter how many templates I have or guitars I've built, you always need to make a new one at some stage of a build. In this case, I wanted to direct mount the pickups without the need for plastic surrounds, so I needed a snug fitting, slightly smaller than standard hole for the pickup cavities. The new master template is fine-tuned with various chisels and rasps, and we will then use this with a router to create the one that we'll actually use on the instrument. It's a good way to make sure that everything is working perfectly. You have to double check before you actually attack a £2,000 guitar. This is the moment of truth. We're creating the final template, and using this we'll then be able to see what the route will actually look like on the guitar. I use Forstner drill bits to pre-drill any cavities I'm going to route. Most router bits don't take kindly to too much abuse, and they tend to get blunt or snap. You wouldn't want that. Even here it's all about preparation. The cavity that we want to create for the pickup is very tight, and obviously the corners need to be small, so I'm pre-routing a rough cavity with a large chunky router bit that takes it out quite quickly, and then moving on to a small 1/4 inch bit on a smaller router, and obviously that doesn't have a bearing on it. The shaft of the 1/4 inch bit runs along the template and just takes the little corners out. Like so. Before we move on, I need to take my bearings and check just what the break angle is and how much space I have for a bridge. As a one-off instrument, the final control layout hasn't been marked onto the front yet. The cavity shape is perfect for 3 controls, but I need to work out the spacing from the inside of the instrument, and then I drill through. on any instrument that I'm going to make more of, I obviously work this out beforehand and have that marked out in the template. Even though the top is still to be carved, I use a centre point drill bit to minimise any tear out. There's nothing worse than damaging something unnecessarily. A recessed carved wooden backplate is hardly necessary, but it's become a habit. This is an old milling machine that I've converted into a pin router effectively. The tables can be moved on 2 axes and the router also can move up and down, so it's a very useful tool. Today, however, I'm effectively using it as a planer thicknesser. It's just roughing out a lot of the Paduk that I don't want. In hindsight, I should have thicknessed the Paduk wings before putting the instrument together, but at that stage I didn't know what I wanted to turn this guitar into.